cooking rice, so I'm keeping my hair on top of my head instead of in my rice. I love your hair, honey, but I don't want your hair in my rice. Look at here. I'm measuring this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cups of rice. I measured my water. I have 4 cups of rice in this pan, little yuppie girls. You say, you're measuring this precisely. Yes. I'm putting 7 cups of water in that rice. 4 cups of rice. You had to have twice as much water as rice. Don't forget that. 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water. 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. 4 cups of rice, 8 cups of water. But I put 7. You say, why did you put 7? This pot is not that large. So I'm putting in 1 cup of chicken broth. You want to know why? Look, 1 cup of chicken broth. One, it has a little salt in it. All you're going to put in there is a little salt in your rice. So I put this 1 cup of chicken broth in there. Most of the time I just boil the chicken myself and keep stock. But this is in a can. That's fine. So now I have 8 cups of fluid. 7 water, 1 chicken broth. Because I put the chicken broth, 1 cup, into that, the fat from the chicken that was in the can is going to keep that from boiling over. It's just a little chicken broth, that's all you need. Pretty slick. So we're going to bring that to a boil. It's going to go way up here, and it's going to go all the way down, the foam. When the foam reaches the top of the rice, we're going to turn the fire on low, put a lid on, never look at it again, never look at your rice, never do this with a rice pot. Once that boils, you would never want to go, wonder how my rice is doing. Don't do that. Don't stir it, and don't look at it once I drop the lid on. But that's coming after it boils. It's going to roll way up, come way down. The rice is going to take all the fluid up. You're going to put a lid on it, simmer it for about 6 or 8 minutes, turn the fire out, go watch TV or something, let it sit there and rest for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. This will feed 12. You say, you got any company coming? Not that I know of. But what if a stranger drops by? Romans chapter 12. Practice hospitality. Romans 12. Offer your body as a living sacrifice. I'm here in the morning cooking rice. If I just cook it for me and Miss Kay, and somebody drops by, or 2 drop by, or 4 drop by, got plenty of rice. The problem with America, they don't cook big pots of rice anymore. Little bitty bit for me and my wife. We don't worry about the rest of them. 90+% of the time at midday, y'all would call it lunch, we call it dinner. Someone always comes by. We got plenty of rice. Worship, offer your body as a living sacrifice. Be prepared to practice. That means on a constant basis. Practice hospitality. This is life here. Got a pot of rice that's good for about 10 or 12 people. If more than that show up, you get a bigger pot. That's beginning to boil. I'm gonna monitor it. Never leave a pot of rice. Don't go over 10 feet. I'm staying within right here. I may move right over here. I'm not moving far until that has a lid on it and the fire is turned down. I never get on the telephone, not while a pot of rice cooking. Let it ring, because burnt rice, it's a bad thing. So why would a man, there's not but 2 of you, and he cooks enough for 12? Cooks enough rice for 12 people. It's called worshiping God. Offer your body as a living sacrifice, which is your spiritual act of worship. Romans chapter 12. I'm prepared if they come by. You see when it gets to right there? The foam's gone. So as soon as that foam goes down, you drop a lid on it and you turn that down. See that fire? You don't want grainy rice in the middle. Almost done, but not quite. You don't want that. This right here makes your rice fluffy. You want your rice to steam for the next 15 minutes. So I'll let this go for about 8 minutes, 10, and I'll turn the fire off. I let the rice sit, and it's becoming fluffy. Things like this, practicing hospitality, is hard to do inside a structure where some guy's preaching, somebody's praying, and you're told to be quiet and sit down. But you can't interact with anybody. What happened to America is that they didn't allow people to see God in them, Jesus, his son, because they go to church for a couple hours and they're done with worship. They worship 2 hours out of the 168. There's 166 hours left in the week. You have to show them what godliness is by your worship. Love God, love your neighbor. It's hard to love your neighbor if you never get around to feeding him, because some of them don't have anything to eat. So you're prepared to feed them. No matter how poor, downtrodden, color, all this stuff people get into, you know, identity politics, you know, and all the race and racism. One race on the earth, the human race. You know what happened to us, America? When these left-wingers sold us the bill of goods, that you go to a church building and that's where you worship. Keep this Jesus inside the walls of a structure. Never come out of there. Never show him in your daily life. So our culture is literally collapsing around us because we bought that bill of goods. We confined our Christianity to the four walls of a building. That hurt us big time. You have to live this out. Walk in the light. Be the salt of the earth. Light of the world. You can't do it if it's confined to a structure for a couple hours a week. It's not enough. Therefore, cook bigger pots of rice. Bigger pots. Have enough for people who come by. Feed them. Be good to them.